You slap me and you abuse me like that, and you think at the time I could just, come to you and tell you that I will not do it. This is a person that I'm looking at in a
as
different.
a monster.
You were a monster. You were.
People who tell you that our daddy, our mommy was a disciplinarian. That is why I have become what I am now.
That is what they say.
So many people, yes.
They only say that.
They don't say that.
They don't know the traumatic effects that it has had on them.
So,
there's discipline in love and correction. I didn't feel that from you. Would you agree to that? And for you, the best way to have a conversation with me is to
ask you where you went.
To kneel.
Where did you go? And there's no
on that terrazzo.
There's no
blocks in my palms, and I'm just thinking about what did I just do?
And I didn't tear you into pieces before this level.
You actually
and
did.
You are still here.
You don't know what. So my name is Adjoa Afariwa Dawson. I am a mom of 3. I'm married. I started my journey in Ghana, but because of marriage, I relocated to Belgium to start my own family. I have suffered trauma right from my infancy through till my teenagehood, and sometimes it glares in the face. I mean, it stares me in the face. It's so glaring sometimes that I feel if I'm able to speak about it with the right person, I would be able to be at peace with myself. So the essence of having this conversation with my dad, I believe he plays a major role in my upbringing. There was a time that I lived with him alone, and I believe we didn't have the best of relationships. And growing up and becoming a mother, I realized that there's a lot that could have been giving me that wasn't giving. I have looked at it from a different perspective and want to do more for my kids. And with the support of my husband also, he's done impeccably well. He has shown so much love at a point I was even afraid. At the beginning, it was scary. But I realized that it was because I didn't have it. So I was just scared that he was giving. I didn't know what he was giving. So now coming back to life and seeing that there's a possibility and my father is not dead. So I just want to seek understanding, share feelings, if you may, emotions, and ask for clarity, and in the process, complete my healing journey. So this is why I find it more or very important to have this conversation. I would not rather have it anyway. I don't want to live in regrets and say that when my father was around, I could have, had an encounter with him, have a session with him, and I waited till he died before, thinking of doing anything. So basically that. Mr. Dean, how are you?
Oh, fine, by His grace. I'm very fine.
I believe that we haven't really had the best of relationships growing up from my point of view. Yeah, I believe. And I believe also that we never had a time like this. I don't remember any time I had a time like this to express feeling and to seek clarity, seek understanding, acknowledging past events and what I have grown to become today. And so the whole essence of having this conversation is to seek understanding, to express feelings, and to heal.
I think right now you have been bold, so bold to invite me to ask some questions and to know. I don't actually know what is on your mind before calling for this. Previously, what was it that you couldn't ask your dad? You were together. I will tell you that since when? Since I took you from Nkoko to Cape Coast. It has been a length of time. And I was with you, okay, with your stepmother together. Were there issues that you were supposed to have made me aware of for such a discussion at that time that you couldn't? And what made you not ask those questions until now?
I believe you didn't have time. So again, this is my perspective.
I didn't have time.
You didn't have time.
How?
And there were no rooms created for such conversations. And so for me, I saw only a disciplinarian, somebody who was tough. And so even if I had a problem, I wasn't going to freely share with.
You weren't going to.
And again,
instead of being bold and.
Okay, so take it from a child's perspective, a teenager's perspective, a teenager who is juggling with a lot of emotions, and from my end as the woman, juggling with
hormonal
imbalances. So from my perspective as a woman, I saw that there wasn't any room created. And if there was a room or there was any encounter, it was just the tough man coming to just discipline or receiving reports, you know. And so that is what had built me. And in junior high school, again, there was a decision that would change my life forever that I really didn't understand the import. Because when I came, I remember you said, yes, First Star was one of the good schools. So because it was, you know, closer to where you were teaching, it was the best of schools that you selected. And even as a child, when I entered, I knew that it was, you know, a very good space for me to thrive. And then, because of my being stubborn, my being insolent, my being unable to, you know, for lack of better words, gel with you, you would say, I have to go to the village. And it was the timely intervention of my mom. I don't know. I think she was able to. Yes, you took me to the village. I have a scar. Yes. When? You took me to the village. You said that I was so stubborn, so you wanted to like.
Let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
What was the cause of your being removed from First Star to any other place?
You tell me.
I brought you to First Star because I was just
closer,
opposite.
Yes.
Yeah, that you will be humble enough and stay and learn. When I close from school, I don't go home immediately. You close earlier than I do.
Yes.
So you will make use of our library.
Yes.
You were there. You'll be so sober, sitting down. Daddy says, I should learn, I should read a book at the library. Then you came, and you were an errand girl for the university undergrads. Angie, go and do this. Ganji, go and do this. Angie, go and do this. I said, no, this will not be what I want this my Angela to be, an errand girl. That was, at that time, it was the beginning of the Methodist University.
Yeah.
And what I saw that you were not coming to a library as I proposed that after school you will sit somewhere. I didn't say you shouldn't move. But you were not moving, just come and do this, come and do that. And it was a continuous action, which I couldn't tolerate because...
For For a whole term.
For a whole term.
Okay.
Yes, we are doing that.
Okay.
And so what we mean is that if I am going to put you there, then I won't get the benefit. And you want to be in any school, because you were also in Cape Coast. When you were why did I take you from Cape Coast to Temple?
You should tell me.
I should tell you how.
You
are saying you are insolent, you are this.
You should tell
me, I am not with you and your stepmother.
But when
the
you
two
come,
of you were there.
But when
I don't even come before I hear. I hear
okay.
that you have done this.
And then you
were
come in
staying with your with anguish. Anguish in what sense?
Listen.
You are supposed to be with your stepmother, and you leave your stepmother and go and hide somewhere. I would hear at the top there. Our house, the top where you have been going.
So you acknowledge that we were neighbors.
If you were neighbors and you were not in your own house.
Okay. So what was you expected? What you expected?
I was expecting you to be with your mother. Indoors. Not always indoors. You could go indoors, but you don't even wait. Hey, and Ajua is at the top there. It's now 10 o'clock. She has not even come down. And I'll ask her, are you not the mother?
I'm just a child. I don't know. You understand?
You don't know.
And so what I'm saying,
you are being corrected all the time.
But
your mom has been telling you, do this,
Mr. Dawson, being corrected, I believe now as a parent, there's a way to go about it.
How do we go about it?
If you go in as tough and as strict and as a disciplinarian who is always using the cane and not sitting to talk, the child doesn't take it.
But even in at Cape Coast, was I using the cane always on you?
Yes.
Always.
That's what I'm saying, that from what I remember, it was always the complaints that you had heard that you come to act on. This is what I remember. And this is what I remember shaped me into my teenagehood. And so from what, even if it was 3 years or 2 years of consistently experiencing that, now when I became a teenager, I was in my shell. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know, Daddy doesn't look like somebody you can go and talk to.
That is your mind.
That's what I'm saying. It's not my mind. This was my experience.
There are people who tell you that our daddy, our mommy was a disciplinarian. That is why I have become what I am now.
That is what they say.
So many people, yes.
They only say that.
They don't say that.
They don't know the traumatic effects that it has had on them.
So what I'm saying is that if I had left you the way you wanted to be.
How did I want to be? You tell me.
I don't know. That is what I'm saying.
So
because there were instances.
You are saying that if you had left me the way I wanted to be.
Yes, if you had been.
Tell me how I wanted to be.
If you had been at First Star and always coming to, after closing, you came to me.
Come and sit down
and you were working.
Read as you wanted.
I know you would have performed creditably before than what you did.
Again, I asked you the reason for making me go through just a term of a school that I had come to appreciate, and I knew that you also knew it would do me good.
Yes.
Why did you end it in just a term?
If you had
3 months?
appreciated it, then you would.
So what you're saying is that because I went on errand
for
for a term,
for a whole term that you were.
Did you sit me down to say? So again, when I said the decision you took would affect me for the rest of my life, because I didn't know why you took that decision.
Why?
Listen, so I remember very well that you said that after the vacation, after that term, or during that vacation, I was to spend my time in the village.
With whom?
Myself.
You alone?
Yes. There's a scar. Oh, it is possible.
So you went there alone and stayed
So
where?
my mom, and I was at Papa Kwane's home.
With who?
With them.
Did I send you to your mom?
You sent me to the village. What I'm talking about is early days of 2003.
2003.
Yes. I have a scar.
Tell me. From where to where?
From Accra to Nkoko. Come on, what are you saying?
When I was at Tema, I didn't go to Accra. I didn't go to Accra.
You're saying your Tema straight to your friend and saying, what do you call it?
I don't even remember traveling
from
with
Accra. You didn't travel with me.
Because I'm confused.
I went
never
alone. I went alone.
took
Or
a
the
car.
man's not. To say, me kwa koja o kwa me de we sika. I don't know. I don't know. Mama sika. And again, even money cries another conversation. You never introduced money to me.
Why should I introduce money to you?
Exactly.
Why should I introduce a man as a young lady? Everything that you need. If you
now,
needed
as
something.
a parent, I know, say me wo mama. I have to introduce money to them.
No, not so early.
It depends on
Not
the
so
stage.
early
But what
taking
I'm
money
saying,
to
at that time, me a teenager, okay? Me a teenager. Until you are asking if you gave me money. And Ameka said, no, that's even another conversation because you never introduced money to me. You never did.
I couldn't have done that.
You couldn't have, huh? But me as a parent
if
now.
If you asked anything, I made provision for that. So why do you need the money per se that I have given you? So every month I should have given you maybe 100 cedis, put it in your pocket.
Yes.
And do what you wanted. That's what you wanted.
It would have helped because
so
it
why
would have
did you
helped.
ask that, Daddy? I think I need to do this.
There wasn't any room that was created.
Okay. You see me as a disciplinarian, so I cannot provide.
A disciplinarian.
I cannot provide for my children.
See.
When they need arises.
There's discipline in love and correction. I didn't feel that from you. Would you agree to that? Because I ask you, was there ever a time that any room was created? Did you ever ask yourself?
Your creation of the room is what I don't want to accept. Because
you don't want to accept. That's
I wouldn't accept it because creation of room for discussion comes from anybody.
So I'm saying, from a child's perspective, now again, I am a mother. And so if I see that,
you are seeing this as a mother who has almost the availability of things that you can do so easily.
What? Availability of what?
No. You have 3 children, 3 girls right now. Yes, you can easily say, I want to do this. I want to take you here. I want to take you there.
That is not what
there is a car available. We are going this way.
There's a car available where? That is not what we're talking about.
That is what
Mr. Dawson,
families
it's not
are.
Some.
That's how some families are and how my family
limited
is also.
to us. So I'm saying, I have a child.
Yes.
Who is a child? Who doesn't? Because as a child, we know, say,
a child always asks.
Stupid.
A child always asks. Daddy,
so
why?
Daddy, that's what I'm saying.
Daddy, do
that
this.
If I am with my mom,
you could
ask. If I am with my mom, I ask.
So what about
why am I unable to ask you when I am with you?
Because you have your own mentality.
I don't have a mentality. So I'm saying that there's a role that you played into becoming my inability to ask you for anything.
And then accept, you know that you have spent more time with me than your mom.
All that I'm saying is that we never had a father-daughter relationship. Now, what I hear or what I not feel, what I know is the norm is that, you know, people will say, oh, as for daughters, they are, you know, daddies. I don't know the, you know, yeah. But a daddy and daughter, it never existed.
No.
Would you acknowledge? Would you acknowledge that?
Because I don't know when.
So you feel you and I have a father-daughter relationship?
You would just come. You would do the cooking. I will be at times to see what you are doing. What should the father do? The father is not the mother. I wanted you at least to groom yourself.
And how did you go about it? So my question now will be:
your question, I will answer it that I pulled you out there to see whether there will be any transformation.
And what was the transformation?
And when you even came there, what I could do to support you was that, let me see if we can do some extra work. People are paying money for extra. Parents are paying money for their children to be taught extra.
Did you take me to any extra school? No.
I was trying to make you at home work before you go to school.
And what was the relationship? What was the relationship?
Most of the time, if I give you an assignment to do, you are angry and then you are angry, you don't want to do it.
So why was I angry? Then I'm saying
and why didn't you ask? Daddy, I wouldn't do it because of this.
So I could stand up to you.
Why not?
You slap me and you abuse me like that. And you think at the time I could just, come to you and tell you that I will not do it.
I mean,
were you the type of parent?
Because
no, listen.
There's so many other things.
I want to actually seek clarity on that.
Monitoring.
You are saying.
Because whenever you even went out to work in front of even our house, the delay that you used to wash this or clean this and talk with your friends before, unless I come and shout, Ajua, why are you not doing this?
So did you think if I was comfortable at home with you?
You are not feel comfortable, but you are in the house. If you are sleeping outside, you are not comfortable.
Listen, if you are with somebody and you feel comfortable with the person, that is when you are always with the person. Do you agree to that? No. If you are not comfortable with the person, you always want to find other things doing.
You feel comfortable with, but you will not come closer with them. It depends.
What I am saying, we are talking about you and I. You are saying and you acknowledge that we had a time together. It was a long time.
When you were hungry, did you ask what we would eat?
Because I knew what to do.
I said, but did you ask? You knew what to do, and you did it yourself.
Good. So you see, in the process, if I would have to come and engage you, I would not engage you. I know what to do. Because, this is a person that I'm looking at in a different...
a monster.
You were a monster. You were. Okay. I'm sorry to say that,
so
but
you saw me as a monster.
You were. Because all the actions,
And I didn't tear you into pieces before this
level. You actually did.
And you are still here.
You don't know what those actions have, caused. And you laugh about it because
why not? Because I'm seeing you as the
actions that we take and the impacts thereof, we don't know. I feel you were frustrated.
Me, I was frustrated.
Well, yes, with my actions.
So your actions you were overdoing things. If you overdo things, which parent will accept?
So you were frustrated?
I wasn't frustrated, but I wanted you to know what you were supposed to do.
And how did you communicate that?
And the communication is what... there are so many instances that I have to... No, it was too much. It was... You were saying that you are an extrovert, and it was an extrovert at the highest point.
And now, what am I?
Now?
Yes.
No, now you have grown.
Yes.
So you are thinking of... Let's say... I am going to have children, and I have to do this. It is
not the current, having before this.
Before
this. At least, let's just take it back, maybe to the university. I was better.
Yes.
I was better than my adolescence.
No, but you cannot be so stubborn after 18 years.
That's what I'm saying. It is
couldn't
growth.
Be after 18
and
years.
And so in that age, or from that time till 18, those actions frustrated you for you to become a monster. And you raised in me something not so beautiful. And it is that which I still hold on. And I want to talk to you about so that I'm able to let it go.
Let it go. So
because
my era of being a monster, has it gone away or it is still there?
It wasn't because,
Mama, I want to ask whether it is still there.
Because I didn't allow you.
You didn't?
Oh, yes. There was a point that I felt I had too much. And so I would avoid you. You understand? So you
avoided
gave,
me.
Of course, you gave an example that yes, when you would even go out, when I'll go out and clean, and I would rather engage with someone. There are people
when you are supposed to go to school, take your bath.
I never did that. It was
every morning you did
weekend. No, it was during the weekend, and of course, it was the weekend that you were also at home. So how were you even monitoring that? It was the weekend.
But we're all going to school at the same time.
It was weekend. I mean. The days that I'll go to school, I never did that.
You wanted to avoid me by talking to you, and then I'll be.
So I'm saying that you played a role. You played a role in that because if I would just go outside
And you feel more comfortable.
Out, because of course there are also
with
other
people
kids.
who are
They
just
are,
talking about useless things.
that's what you think. You just feel that every conversation that goes on
this one is those type of things.
That's what you always heard.
Yeah, like girls.
Think it shaped me to becoming what I am today.
It didn't shape you. So I shaped you. I gave you.
So you shaped me means that you also, that monstrous aspect also shaped me
to becoming a monster.
Yes.
So you're a monster now.
Listen. Oh yes, you see.
You're a monster now.
I will agree. I will agree.
Okay.
Because in life, there's the good,
and the bad.
There's the bad, and there's the ugly.
And everything.
And so we encompass these three salient things. If we say that, don't talk about it, then we grow the monster, we grow the ugly. So that if one day I still harbor this hatred, I could just pick up a machete and then do the worst.
I think Kwajo should be listening to this because I am not.
That is why I am telling him that he should, because for him, 38 years of his life, he's
I'm not the type where if you don't ask me.
So again, let me ask you. Your child, you come in from school, hiding, and I said, yes, I'm thinking that around this time when I go, she's not home. And truly, she's not home. You remember how the Committee 2, Efieni used to be? The Tarazona, was sure, no? And I come from just a house opposite our house. Say, Hana mewo. So there's nobody in that big house in Committee 2. And you don't have conversations with me. And I don't have any sibling. And I see my contemporary.
So you have to
opposite, go. And you know them. You greet their parents or their guardians, and and so you know specifically where I am. It's not like you don't know
that these people are.
And I come. You let me finish. I come, and for you, the best way to have a conversation with me is
to ask you where you went
to kneel.
Where did you go? And there's no
on that terrazzo.
There's no
blocks in my palms, and I'm just thinking about what did I just do? I just want to make friends. I just want to have somebody who will listen to the many questions that I'm asking.
You are asking Mary and Go questions that they should answer you as.
I was just a child, or I was just an adolescent. I am growing.
An adolescent.
I don't know anything about myself.
Adolescence,
but there comes in the parenting. You understand? There comes in the parenting. Because we suppose that parents have always been in the situation that
every child thinks that the father is wicked. That's one day.
Please.
Every child thinks that the father is wicked, the mother is better.
No, nobody, not in this conversation. So I haven't said any of this in this conversation.
Whatever you do, the father is this.
No. So at the
very few
that
people say that fathers are mentors to them. They have mentored them up to a certain level.
Do you feel you have played a role in how I'm feeling?
How you are feeling?
Yes.
How you are feeling? I can't tell you how you feel.
So I am expressing how I'm feeling.
You are talking of how sad, the feeling of sadness or the feeling of what?
The feeling of being able to do better. Yes.
Not belonging.
Not belonging to. Not anything close to you. Do you feel any of your actions have contributed to that? Or you feel you and I have a strong bond, we are okay?
If you don't have a firm bond,
you can't be bothered.
Right? Am I bothered? Because right now at your age, if you decide not to mind me, do I care?
You don't care.
I don't care too much.
Wow.
All I would say is that I have a daughter, but my daughter...
all of this...
You are telling me about Kwesi. Am I bothered about Kwesi's life? Because he has decided to go away from me.
So you should ask yourself,
I will
why
not-
has he?
Why has
he done
It
that?
is his own mind. He is now married to a person and has got his own children. He has a family to, and just as I was always thinking, I was also thinking that, hey, life, is that how it is? My own dad, I cannot monthly remit because of my situation. If I will give something at all, it is once or twice or 3 times. But it is my duty at his old age, like every month, I should have a substantial amount, even though you will put the money there for somebody to come and take. You understand? So it is my duty to take care of whatever it is. Kwesi is also an adult with 3 or 4 children now. So whether you come and visit me and give me some, maybe he's also there. As I'm going to you, Daddy, I should take something along, and I don't have it, so let me wait until another time. Let me wait. Procrastination is making it. So what will I do?
Maybe that's what you also did, and I want to so it's become a generational thing.
I want to address you in what sense?
Yes, I'm saying that now that you're saying that just as it ought to be, you could have remitted your father.
Yeah, but if you don't have the means, what do you do?
That's what I'm saying. So you didn't do that, and he's also not doing that.
So
if Prince decides not to do that, and I also decide not to do that,
I don't.
Generational. It becomes generational.
It cannot be any generational something. It is the mind. It's the mindset of the people.
You don't see it that way. See, I always say I doff off my heart to my husband, because Kwejo has been very, very instrumental.
Definitely.
He's been very, because even on my, on this journey, there was a point that he asked me, so, Papa, and initially from, the first years or the first 2 years of our marriage, it was really tough. It was really, really tough, because how you shaped me or how you molded me made me look at men in a different way. It's the truth. It's the truth. It could have affected me if he wasn't matured. Because I would come off as defensive and as aggressive as I could be with him.
Yes, it is. It is still there.
That is what I'm saying.
It is still there. If I talk,
good. So I'm telling you that the hurt is still there. The hurt is there. The hurt is there. That which you as I I don't know, like, for lack of better words, you understand me? You contributed to that, and so it has created some sort of trauma, and so dealing with it is difficult. And so definitely with a man who is not matured about it and doesn't know how to handle some of these things, so he tells me that it's therapeutic for me to engage with you, so that you know that, okay, even if it is past, it has still contributed one way or the other to me now. For me, what I take from it is that I look at the positivity around what happened. Because if I say that my father wasn't there, then I now should create something for my kids. I ask myself, what is love? To me, love is understanding, and love is getting better to give more. So if I get to know better of myself, I can give my daughters more. If I get to understand myself better, I can be able to give Kwejo, who is my husband, more, so that he also does same. And yes, sir, it becomes generational, because I can't say that, yes, my father didn't give me the love, and so I looked at him from an arm's length, and so definitely my daughters will pick up same. And if by God's grace I'm able to have sons also, they might pick up same, knowingly or unknowingly. And this is where I want that barrier closed. Do you understand? I hope you understand all of these things. Is there anything that you haven't said to me before, that now that we have this opportunity you would want to say to me?
Me, I see that as my daughter, I wanted to put you in a shape. Putting you in that shape is to not relent in making you feel that there are so many things. Because life, nobody knows life. We have never been in life. We are all trying to understand. So I was happy when he said, oh, I thought you were not my father because the way you were treating me or this. But I think you have also hardened me to face life. It was something pleasurable to me to hear that my daughter has seen that after all, it was just because out of wickedness that I was doing some of these things, but because I wanted the welfare of the. So now what I would say is that if what you saw me as, you saw me as something, I wasn't like that. But if by my actions, you are peeved, then I'll say, take heart. Pardon me, I'm sorry. Because it was not advertent. Inadvertently, maybe I have done so many of the things that you think was not the best, but it is all for the good and shaping of my daughter. So that's what I would say. Maybe if I have not said sorry for those that, because I didn't see them as you see. I didn't see them as you see. But now that we are voicing out these things, then I know it has hurt. And maybe continuously hurting. So we will say that if we are ending, I will say if all these things in my mentality, thinking that I was trying to shape you, was rather the opposite, then pardon me. I'll say sorry for that, and then let bygones be bygones. That's what I would say.
Thank you.